Hello, this is the Gaiden 2 hard strat tutorial. My goal here is to inform people of all of the differences and minor things and all of the time saves and how to do them. So if anyone in chat has questions as we go through here, please ask, because the viewer of this VOD may also have the same question. So the first thing that I want to talk about is wall climbing. The question that I get a lot is, how much does wall climbing actually save? And it depends on a lot of factors. So that wall climbing is actually not very good, because I'm going up a left wall, which is way harder for me. So what I actually did is I made a task that climbs up this wall at all of the different speeds and shows how much time you're saving per wall climb. So let's go to that real quick. Let's cut this, and we're gonna look at this, and I'm also going to add this. So I hope that's visible. Make this bigger too. Okay, so what I mean here by frames off, frames saved, if I let me save this. So what I mean here by frames off, so you can see my controller input down there. While climbing, the input is to hold, you're going to hold A, and then you hold right to jump off the wall. Okay, and then right now, I'm not doing anything. Actually, I should be holding right. But I'm not pressing B, I'm not holding left. Okay, so these are the amount of frames where I'm not doing anything. That's what I mean by frame off. So like a frame off of 1, I press right for a frame, and then I don't do anything, and on the next frame I press B and then go back. So that would be a 1 frame off. That saves 3 frames. So 3 frames, that means if I do it 20 times, I'll save a second. So let's actually look at the different wall slashes in this task editor here. So you can see these inputs. This is what I'm talking about. There's 1 frame where I'm not doing anything. All I'm doing is holding right, and then I'll press B and left. So this I'm going to be climbing up this wall with 1 frame slashes. So this is what it looks like. Let me set a thing here. So those are 1 frame slashes. If your slashes look like that, you will save 3 frames on average every time you do it. There's some subpixel rounding, so it's off by a little bit. This is what I did it when I tested it. Okay, so these are 1 frames. These are 2 frames. Uh-oh, did I lose my video? What happened to my video? I just spent like a long time making a video. Where did it go? Did I lose it? I think I lost it. Okay, we're gonna have to do this from hand. It's okay. This shouldn't take too long. So here's how I would task something. See, so I'm gonna copy this, copy paste. this point here, are we just doing anything? Okay, so now we're on the ground, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make these instead. Have 2 frames of dead time in between. And this I'm probably not going to get as high as before because I'm not saving as much. I'm not going as fast up. Okay, so these are going to be 2 frame slashes. Set it here. Oh, hold on. Went too far off. What is going on? Wait, what frame am I on? Oh, I just did this way too far up. So let's play. No, we need to jump off, dude. Get us off. Okay. Alright. Now we're here. Oh, it keeps copying it there. Why does it do that? I don't know how that copy paste works. Okay, that worked. Set this as a marker. So these are 2 frames. Let's go left more. So they still go really fast. I'm guessing not very many people's wall slashes look like that. Also, these are going like pretty fast, so let me remove some of them. Make it look a little more realistic. Yeah, so that looks way more realistic. But these are still 2 frame slashes. What you're looking at is how far he is away from the wall. And then 3. Let's just change this. And keep in mind this thing here. So 3 frames is where we're going to start being slightly less optimal. Also, 1 and 2 frames, sometimes if you do a wall slash, you get like an empty, or you're up being. If you do a 1 or 2 frame slash, that's actually irrelevant. You get back to the wall before it goes out. Okay, so these are 3 frame slashes. That's what happens when you're bad at wall climbing. Where did that happen? Wait, what? Oh, we never jumped. By we, I mean me. So those look like pretty realistic, I think. Those are saving 2 frames a slash or so. Again, there's rounding, so I don't know, it's probably more like 1.5. And then if your wall slashes are this slow, you're actually not saving time at all when you slash. What happened there? Oh, we did it. I did it too low. Something's off with that first one. What's going on? Oh, it didn't actually grab the wall. same problem. So there you're not gaining any time. If you go any slower than that, you're actually losing time. So just to illustrate what it looks like if your slashes are so slow that you lose time. You lose time if you wall slash this slow. Just keep that in mind. This is like what you're trying to do when you wall slash. If you're this slow, don't even do it. If you're as slow as the last one, don't even do it. So that's what I want to show about wall slashing. Let's get back to emulator, or get back to console, and I can start actually talking about some strats. So the first thing I want to talk about is a mechanic, which is spawning enemies early. So let's see, where does this guy actually spawn? Right here. So Ryu's like front foot is on that crack. So what happens if I press left here? He spawns. Oh, I locked the screen. If I press left there, no. If I press left there, he spawns. So actually you can spawn him quite a bit early. See, it's almost like a full reuse length away. You can spawn an enemy early. And there's a couple of benefits where this comes into play, but this is something that comes up, and I don't think many people know exactly like why. This is true for, I think, pretty much every enemy. So the first one I want to talk about, I'm not going to go too much in detail here because I don't think anyone's actually going to do it. You want to spawn the guy up there early. So what I do is I jump when Ryu's right about here, like on this third panel in the background, and then I press back when like the center of Ryu's sprite is lined up with the end of the ledge, maybe a little bit less. And you spawn him early, and then your goal, so I'm gonna not spawn him early and illustrate the goal a little bit. What I look at is the bottom of his knuckle. So you can see the bottom of his knuckle is lined up with the edge. He's gonna turn around on the next frame, I think, or the next. He stands still for 3 frames and then he moves. So the next time he moves, he's gonna turn around like that. I want to press left when he does that. So it's actually pretty tricky. Oh, I know why. I need to actually go slow. Okay. So you saw it. That's what's going on. I won't go into too much more detail. That's the trick. It's subpixel based. If depending on my subpixel, I can only press left for 1 frame. If I press it for 2 frames, nothing will happen. If I'm on the other subpixel, I can press left for exactly 2 frames. So if I press it for 1 or for 3, he won't he won't fall down. So really you have like a 50-50 chance of getting that. You just tap left for like as short as possible. But those are the cues that I use. This gets you the red ninja. The stage will be, if you do the early spawn here optimally, the stage will be about as fast. But you get to the boss faster and there's a better quick kill. So another strat, it's actually faster to go up this wall, the left wall. This saves not very much time. I don't remember exactly how much. It's like 0.1 or 0.2, I think. That's without climbing. So one of the downsides to this is that if you climb, like I climb up there, I do quite a few slashes. I do 4 slashes and then the 5th one. Maybe I do 3, I don't know. But in any case, if you want to do fast climbing, then you have to climb up the right wall faster. So that's actually why I don't do it yet. I might. Well, I'm doing this strat now, so I'm probably never gonna do this. Maybe in races, I don't know. It's actually faster to go up the left wall. Up here there's a red ninpo, so that's the reason I go top route, because if I mess up wall climbing, then sometimes I throw too many ninpos. It's just as fast, there's no reason this would ever be slower. There's also a fire wheel there. So if you're in like a race and you miss the first one, you can just keep going. So this I'm not going to talk too much about because most people already know it. But I'll talk about my cue. So I jump when Ryu's front foot is touching that ledge. And then I don't know exactly when I throw it, but it seems like this gives me like a big window. This is like the optimal jump point, I feel like. And then you do the slash back. So again, every time you get boosted in this game, you go at the speed that you were traveling. So that's why you slash and go back, except for a couple of minor exceptions. That's pretty common. Here, this is frame perfect, so I've already talked about this a lot on stream. If you want to practice, you should make a state like here or so, because you actually need to practice falling. If all you do is you make a state here and try to do this over and over again, it's not going to be very helpful, because one of the reasons this trick is so hard is because you need to control your fall. I'm gonna run out of time. Chorf says for the last trick he jumps at the middle of the crack and throws the fire near his jump height. So that actually might be better. Play around with that, because then you actually know like when Ryu's at his height, like, so yeah, that might be better actually. This works for me, I'm not gonna change it, but if you want something more concrete, give that a try. But yeah, this trick here, it's tricky because you're never going to get the same grabbing of the wall. You don't want to go too low because then you don't actually have enough time to clip off. But if you go way too high, then like you're losing so much time climbing down. And that's why it's not good to practice it down here, because you never know where you're going to land on it. I always make a state here and then I practice. So you're practicing your wall grab and your clip off. But yeah, there's nothing special to this, so right now I'm holding A. Like, as soon as I grab the ladder, I start holding A. And then all you do is you press left the frame. So if I just hold down, I transition, right? You just want to press left the frame before he transitions. That's all there is to it. And it's really tricky. There's no good cue for it. Mostly because you don't really have much time to react, you don't know where you're gonna land. I just kind of look at the bottom of my screen, which is not a very helpful cue for people because all TV screens are cut off differently. So like that's why I would never do this in a live marathon, because the TV is not going to be my TV. But yeah, that's that trick. It saves. So it's a little bit like, if you see me miss this on an attempt, I'll lose like 0.5 seconds. But that's because I'm taking some time climbing down here. And my PB like doesn't do this grab. So overall it saves like 0.3 or so. Like 0.35, I don't know. It's not 0.5. Now I have to slash this guy. Not going to talk about the quick kill because that's not advanced. That's something pretty standard for most people. One trick here you can not up B, you can do this. Slash both of them. This is something that I haven't really practiced because even with like a 95% success rate, I wouldn't want to lose a run after Crazy Act 1 to this. Maybe if I get it to like 99%, I would consider doing it. And the end part here isn't trivial too. You need to make sure that you jump correctly to not hug the end of the boxcar, because then you're losing time. All the time that you save is however long it takes for you to up B. So if your up Bs are like really fast, it's not really a huge deal anyways. But the rest of 2-2 is just holding right. I forgot the strat. This is not really advanced, but the 5/ buffer there is like optimal because it's really hard to sorry, this jump is really tight because it positions you just so well. It's really the best way to do it. Another thing that people lose a lot of time on is this jump here. You want to do a quick turnaround. It actually saves a lot of time because the wind is blowing. So like if I walk over, then I need to move at super slow speed because the wind is pushing me. I don't really have a good cue here, but the trick is that if you really want to save time, you need to jump early and just touch the front of this. I think it saves like half a second over how most people do it. It's quite significant. And the input is just left and then immediately press A. So you don't want to press left for too long, and you don't want to press left and A at the same time, otherwise you get that coming out. And I mean, that's not like the worst because you're not dying if that happens. But yeah, the key thing is to press A immediately after. One thing that this has come up a lot, like this climb here. Actually, let me go back down. So there's two things. One is it's definitely quicker to just put in one quick wall slash there. The other thing is how fast you can climb up here. It's really dependent on how fast your up B is, because the wind is going to stop like in the middle of you jumping up. So if your up B is really slow, then the wind is going to wear off like sooner and you're going to be moving faster and it's harder to go up the stairs. So you just want to try to do a good up B there. That's the only thing that makes it so why I can climb up those stairs consistently that way. So one thing about slashing here is I usually try to fit 2 in there. If I accidentally use a ninpo, there's actually a backup here. Let me just explain. Let's see. There's a backup. So let me try to get it where, there. You see how high I landed on there? It's because slashing, I don't know exactly why it works, but effectively it gives you 1 frame of invincibility. So I'm getting boosted a frame later. So if you slash there, keep in mind you do have this backup, except it's risky. Because you want to slash not the frame like immediately before you're touching that guy. It needs to be a little bit earlier. See, I got it there. And then your run is in bad shape. Another thing, I think everyone probably knows this too, you can't jump off too soon. I'm slashing that for no reason. If you jump up too soon, the wind doesn't push you. See, that happens. I wasn't far enough left because the wind hadn't pushed me enough yet. So that's why I intentionally move up a little bit further. Like, that's probably ideal. I'm gonna clip though. And if you do clip the wall, it's like, there's no good strat for trying to get the boost. It's like a total crapshoot. I tested it and it's like every other frame I would get a boost and every other frame I wouldn't, depending on how much I pressed left. So there's, oh, my light cycle's gonna be messed up because I pressed start. So this is all pretty standard. Here's one thing where I save a lot of time off of people. I meant to press up B and I press up select. Is this here? So one way you can do it is this. Another way you can do it is this. And those are both slower than how I do it. It's hard because my light cycle is messed up. In any case, what I do is I do like a pseudo wall climb. Because the difference between those two strats is I let go of A, it moves me there, or I hold A and it moves me there. But actually I can, notice how when you get boosted there, it's effectively a jump. You're getting that upward velocity of jumping. So actually you want to slash and immediately grab onto the wall when you can. And this actually saves quite a bit of time, because it's faster than a normal wall climb, because I'm I don't know how to explain it, but it is. Most people do this too, but you want to jump as early as possible. So Q I uses when reuse like back sprite is halfway through or so. When its back foot is halfway through. This is actually a good save state to illustrate it. See how that's not going to make it. That will make it. So it's really close. But you want to jump as early as possible because you want to spend not very much time sitting around there. There's a strat here. This is kind of like the 7-2 jump, where you jump to get boosted off the guy. This might be a little bit tighter, but they're close to the same. You can get boosted. I don't really recommend this because if you mess it up, you either lose a lot of time or you die. Like if you get close, most of the time you're just gonna die. Another thing is you can down slash this guy, it saves an up B. Key is that you want to jump early. If you jump late, like there, I'm not gonna get it, I'm too high up. So usually you just do two quick jumps. And you want to slash really late, so those two times I was just slashing way too early. This actually isn't very tight, you just need to keep that in mind, slash really late. This also saves you the benefit of, or saves you some info. Okay, so here's where some more crazy happens. So there is a frame perfect jump here. Right there. If you jump on the right frame, you get boosted. You can touch the wall. And the cue that I'm using is like super arbitrary. It's when we're using. So you see the patterns, there's like 4 of these, like, I don't know, mouse pointer shaped things in the bottom here. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm doing is I'm just looking, let me just look That was too late. That was pretty good. That was also pretty good. I think I'm jumping too early. Yeah, so like reuse, that was too late. Too early. Too late. Early. That was good. So it's like sort of when his front foot is like, I don't know, here maybe like one, yeah, that will probably do it, but I can't press A and left at the same time. And this actually, so let's actually get up there. Now what you do is you use front hand touches this top. There's like 4 notches. You do a wall jump, and that gets you slightly into the wall, and then 2 more, or 1 more if you're like, if it's perfect. I should start trying to do that. Get over in 1. That has to be like super perfect though. But if it takes you more than 3 slashes, you actually don't save time. This is super minimal. It's like 0.3 time save or so. So let me actually try to do. That's obviously losing time, but I can't get 4. There. That would have lost time, even if I did that last slash, or it would have been like close to even. It's slightly faster to do the O-on strat here, which is this. I don't know by how much. See, if you do the normal strat, you are losing time by standing neutral. Controller. Right there. See, I have to wait. Wait and then jump. So if you do this, you have to wait slightly less long. If you do downfire, you can do an even better strat here. And I was fiddling around with something the other day, which is actually faster. I need to get used to it. But basically, you want to spawn the bird early. Where can I spawn him? Where does he normally spawn? Right about there, okay. How does this work? It's not gonna work. So that, or actually, I do that. For this, it's kind of tricky. See, and I'm like not stopping there. I wanna. So that's actually faster than both ways, but you can't hold back for too long, otherwise you're backtracking and then losing time. Slashing that spider is really hard. I'm amazed that I got it twice like that. I just like shurikening him, but you need to get this red info. Anyways, that's slightly faster. 2 wall slashes there, 2 or 3 there. Here's another spawn an enemy early trick. So you can see like where I can spawn them early. Let's see. This will not spawn them early. It's right about there. So it's sort of reuse like fully, like right now I'm like fully immersed in this little platform. It's like as soon as I'm touching that fully inside of it, that's when I press back. So, oh, that's a weird spot to be. Okay. I guess I do it even a little bit earlier than that. Anyways, the purpose of that is that, say I don't do it. That's gonna happen, you're gonna die. No. Wait. Okay, and then I jump. So either way I'm waiting. This makes me wait less time because I spawn them early. This is another thing, you have to get over in 3, otherwise you actually lose time. So this time save is extremely minimal. Okay, so let me get up here. Let me get like a good spawn. One of the things that's tricky about this is that you're never going to spawn them the same way. So you don't really have that great of a queue. But if you do spawn them like fairly consistently, I just do it a little bit after the guy shoots his bullet. So just try a different queue. One thing Jorf does is that he holds down here, which changes the trajectory of the guy. I haven't had very much success with that. It's a little bit harder for me. I don't know, maybe it's better, maybe you can do it exactly. Either way, I don't think you land that much higher on the wall. I don't know, maybe you do. You should do it that way, I guess. Well, there's a lot of different ways you can do this. Like I said, you can do the same sort of thing once you get to this top notch. Do 3 jumps over. This is not an advanced strat anymore. Okay, so if you really don't like up being, you can slash this guy here, but his hitbox is horrendous. Well, the sword's hitbox is horrendous. His hitbox is fine. This is another thing that's faster. You let go of A and jump over. It's slower to do this because then you're losing time backtracking. So I timed it, and you lose like, I think 15 frames picking up this backup ninpo. So if you can save more than 15 frames while climbing in that room, then it's worth it for you to do it. Even if you mess up, you'll still save time. Here there's a frame perfect jump. Jump at the last possible frame and you'll make the pillar to pillar. Okay, so I'm good at frame perfect tricks, I guess. This is actually frame perfect. It's very hard. And this saves, if you get it right, a good amount of time. This is one of my least favorite tricks in the game because it's extremely misleading as to whether you're gonna make it or not. And I think that might be sub-pixel based. I'm not sure. If you land, the problem here is that I just always go in expecting to make it, unless I'm so sure I messed it up. And then what you'd have to do is you just have to react. There, I was pretty sure I was gonna mess up. So you just have to react to whether you grab it or not, and that kinda sucks. Oh, that sucked. I shouldn't have saved at all. I have to do this without fire wheel. I think I mentioned this in the tutorial, but ideally you want to jump in such a way that you're maximizing the amount of time moving right on this, gaining like water speed. So that was actually slower. Let's get Rolly Guy out of the way. That's like optimal. if I do it, actually that's even better. That's like the best. So you kind of want to jump as early as possible actually to get over that. There's actually a strat that Fast found that's faster, but it's really hard. I'm not doing it yet. You can actually up slash those two. I think it's like a 2-frame window. It's pretty tight. And again, if you do this, you're not moving along the water as much. So if you want, you can test that out. And don't do that. Here, there's actually a slightly quicker way to do it. I just found this out. Again, just maximizing the amount of time you spend on water. So usually you do something like this, spawn the bird. You can actually jump at the latest possible time and then turn around like at the latest possible time. And it will spawn the bird still. It's pretty tricky. I'm probably going to incorporate it in runs when I get more used to it. I don't think it's too bad. Because if that happens, like, it's kind of bad. And you also have to change your muscle memory because you're just sitting here waiting. Normally you don't do that because you're in the air. Also, getting up there in one, I don't have a very good explanation for it. One thing I kind of toyed around with, like if you want to do it, is to one thing that we do is hold left the entire time after you jump. So something that I toyed around with was going neutral in the air. I actually had some success with it, but I didn't get anything consistent enough. It depends on so many factors that I don't really know. I covered the bird thing in this video, or in my old videos. It's faster to keep the bird with you and run along the water. In any case, you get like here, and there's 2 ways you can do this. I think it's actually like a better idea to just try to grab it as late as possible. So this is actually not that hard to get like the perfect grab. You don't want to move off very far. It's harder if you're like that far out. But if you're just like that, then all you do is you press V then right. And it's pretty easy to grab it like that. The alternative is to try to do the clip. But this clip is even harder because you're falling for longer. So you want to grab higher up, but if you're grabbing higher up, then you're losing a lot of time by climbing down. But you can still do the clip here. And I think this clip actually saves less time than... Yeah, this clip I think saves less time than in 1-1 because you're not... This platform is less high. So you can, I don't know, maybe they're the same. I already cover Firewheel Strats. So let's, I don't want to do this. I want to get like a realistic setup. Yeah, get down there. Okay, so after you grab that, you're like in this state. So I did kind of a late jump, so this jump is hard, but I'm gonna grab that wall. Shouldn't be that hard. And now you're on this wall, and the trick to this strat is you want to do a slash, not too good of a slash, otherwise you fall in. But you want to lodge yourself a little bit into the wall. This is probably good. It was good, but I messed it up. This is perfect. And then I'm holding A and I just do another slash. And I go over like that. There's a lot of things that can go wrong here. If your slash is too good, you just fall through like that. If your slash is not good enough, then you can't get over. So actually, this one is not too bad. I keep getting it. I can't get one where my slash is not good enough. I don't know. But when you practice it, you'll probably get some of them. There. And I'm dead. You can react, but it's pretty hard. Most of the time you're just gonna die or lose a ton of time. The cue that I kinda use is that when we use top hand, it's the darkness up there is when I do my first slash. And I don't try to do it perfectly. I try to let it be a little bit, like, I don't know a good word for it. If you do it perfectly, then that happens. You just grab back onto the wall. So you want to be off the wall for a little bit. And this slash, the second one, that needs to be as fast as possible. If this is even like a slight bit slow, it's gonna be hard. So really I'm just holding A and then left B right like as fast as possible. Which is probably why a lot of times I get an up B when I do this. And one thing, if you do the firewheel strat, I don't cover this in the video. I think I'd say to do this. Oops. That. Which is actually slower. Because again, I'm not getting perfect water pushing. You're gonna do something like that. Press up. You want to jump and then press up B right when you're about to land. And hopefully you can hit that ninpo. If you don't mess up any up Bs, you will have enough ninpo. But if you do the climb before, like it's kind of easy to up B. I do it quite often. And slashing this ninpo is ridiculously hard. Because if you slash too early, then you grab the wall. And if you jump late, you're just not going to be able to get it. So I'll be surprised if I can even get it here. I'm glad that I didn't know how hard this slash was when I did my run. Because this actually happens in the 10:07. I slashed this, like, I didn't realize how hard it was. I don't know, I'm not even going to worry about it. I have enough ninpo. This is really hard. You really just want to up B that on the way down. I explained this fight. Pretty sure I have a tutorial for it. I don't know. If you want a tutorial for that and it doesn't exist, send me a message. Some more small time saves. Going up this right wall is faster. Not only from slashing, but for other reasons too. In general, if it's faster to slash over than to do like 2 wall jumps from left to right. So wall slashing here, it's risky and helpful. If you don't wall slash, it's actually pretty hard to clear that bullet. So that's actually why I started doing this strat, because I didn't want to wall slash up here. I thought it was easier to clear the bullet. If you do it this way, it's easy to get one of those slow jumps, like that. So you really want to like be sure you wait a little bit before you jump, and that's where clearing the bullet becomes an issue. But if you slash, it's way easier to clear the bullet. And And when I do it this way, I seem to get set up in a position where I can just down slash this guy and not have to wait. If you accidentally up B while slashing there, then you have to slash this orb, which is something that you can do. It's pretty tricky. I have a bad state. Just jump really late and slash. I don't know. Keep in mind that the sword hitbox is way lower than it actually is. This is faster too if you really are good at this and don't want to use an up B, but I wouldn't recommend it. That's how you get the backup if you need it. Here, let me just do this a couple times. I think that's the cue that I use. Ooh, that's a nice sound. Yeah, so it's actually pretty easy to get over here in one if your wall climbing is good. What I'm doing is, you can see these bricks. There's like the far background bricks. There's one brick, and then there's two brick. One brick, two brick. When Ryu's front foot touches this crack separating brick 2 and brick 3, then I jump, and it puts me right here. If you just do a very quick left B right, you'll get over. If you don't get over, don't do another slash, just hold down. That's way faster. Unless you really mess up and you're just like in the wall there, then you're screwed. Then you have to do another slash. But yeah, this saves quite a bit of time. Doing those unnecessary slashes are like a quarter second to half second time loss each. It's definitely faster to not jump here, most people know that though. So one thing that I do, because I'm afraid, I'm like not that confident in wall slashing, slash twice there, do that, and then up B here. And what this does is that it makes it so that you can wall slash without fear there. Now if I accidentally up B, like it doesn't matter, because I'm not gonna have it come out. See, it would have come out there if I did it. And this wall is pretty tricky because once you're at the top, like it pushes you down. So I usually do 2 quick slashes and then wait a little bit and do like a floaty jump to get over. It's definitely quickest to just do this. You can't jump immediately or you die. Okay, I thought I was gonna die there. Using the wrong thing. There, I'm probably dead. Yeah. So you just want to walk for like a frame and then you get that transition. Here's another spot you can do the clip. This is something I gotta go for because it's, I don't know, I feel like I'm consistent with this one more than the others for whatever reason. It's the exact same story as before. If you don't get the clip, it's like a few frames faster to try to jump off when you transition like this and slash, oops, slash over like that. It's not faster by much, but you do gain like, I don't know, 5 frames or something. So here is a strat that is actually, I don't know, quarter second to half second faster. I don't remember exactly, but again it involves spawning the ninja early. spawning an enemy early. So how is this normally done? I don't even know the normal way of getting boosted left. Something like that, except you hold back to get boosted like that. So two things. First off, you have to sit there and wait a little bit. Second off, you get boosted to the left. So if you do this and spawn them early, not only do you get boosted to the right, but you're not actually waiting. So it saves time two ways. And really all I'm doing is I'm pressing it like, sort of a mental image of where that orb is, where the red info was. And when Ryu's kind of like inside where that orb is, I tap back and then hold forward. And it's like pretty easy, I think. I died a few times when I started doing this, except the way I would normally do this boost was different. It was this. So I wasn't even used to the other way. I'm not going to, oh yeah, Liz, thanks for those. Not even gonna do a commentary here because I already made a tutorial for this. Act 6, there's nothing except for the second room, which I cover in tutorials, but maybe people forgot about it. You do... So you definitely want to slash and then hold back, like that. But if you press slash on the first available frame, then you maintain that fast speed. So you want to do that. One thing here is, this is kind of a tricky slash. I jump late and I delay my slash a little bit. If you slash immediately, I find that it's harder. But I jump when Ryu's like front sprite touches that tip of that stalagmite on the bottom. And then I delay my slash by like a matter of frames. And it works almost every time. Curious if there's a way to get this with slashing. I've never really experimented with it. I think it would be pretty tight. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just upbeat this thing. For this boss kill, it's faster to cancel your last shot. So like in a normal world, you do something like this. Like that, except if I had pressed up B on my jump like as fast as possible and the boss is slightly more to the right like he should have been, the up B would have whiffed. So I do this moonwalk thing, just 2 is enough. And then you're right there. And this has the benefit too of your, usually you have a ninja like deep underground and his up B like is far to the bottom left of the boss. This way it's like right in the boss, so it's gonna hit him quicker. You probably gain a couple frames for that reason too. Here there's another over the wall strat. This isn't in the PB, but it's part of new 7.1. The quickest way to do this normally is either get this lucky clip. I don't know a good cue to do it. I haven't tried for it in a while. Gus says he has a cue for it, like that. So So there's like sort of one frame where you can get that and you go really fast there. But the best way is to just get over in one, which I don't think is that hard. Touch the ground and then move over. It's way faster than that, and it's faster than if it takes you 2 slashes. Even if you do 2 slashes, it's still better to touch the floor like that. But the yeah, this over the wall is not that much different than the 4-2 one. It seems a little bit harder to me, but I think it's because there isn't that great of a setup. Because when I grab this, I'm usually not like touching the ceiling like that. And the other thing you have to do is deal with this clubber. So if you are bad at wall slashing and you get an accidental up B, the shuriken will kill him, so that's good. Otherwise, you have to pause and slash him on the way down. So just something like that. Like that. Okay, so one thing here. Your up B can't be too good. Since you're watching this, you're probably decent and good at up B'ing. If your goal here is to learn strats. If your up B is frame perfect, you can't actually make this jump. The bird will not boost you. So usually if your up Bs are really slow like that, it's okay to jump earlier. But when they start getting really good, you need to jump later. Otherwise, the bird is not going to boost you, he's going to miss. Just give an example like that. I jumped way too early there, but that's the kind of thing that's going to happen. See, even that was too early. That was close. Yeah, you just want to jump later. If you're really brave, there's a strat here. How does it go? I forget. Like that. Down slash this guy. Get boosted. Saves an up B. Don't recommend it. Slashing that bird is like impossible. And all it saves is an up B. Curious if you can just up slash. You need to get it. No. In any case, normal way is just that. Oh, I saved. Uh-oh, am I dead? I'm not dead. Good. Ah. Okay. So this room is faster if you do it this way. And I already covered this in a video, but basically hold left as soon as you enter. You want to slash because speed is a very important factor here. It saves half a second, by the way, so it's not that much. If you mess up any part of this, then you're not going to be saving much time, if any. This jump is pretty tight to get up there. If you want, you can just practice it. But you have to do it pretty quickly. Your movement has to be really good in order to get over there in time. Then I do another slash and slash over. Now you do run into that problem too, which is another added difficulty here. If I see, it spawns me not touching the ladder. So actually you have to do a quick left-right wiggle. If I just hold right, see that happens. But if you just press left for like a frame, or you can enter the screen holding left, and then press right as soon as you transition in. But you have to actually move left a little bit. And sometimes you can get boosted by the flame, and it will put you on the wall. And that's something that you have to react to because it's really disorienting, and then you just have to do it normally. And also I add downfire here because of the other strat coming up. So let me explain this. There's two things that can happen here. So let me get the ideal situation. Not ideal. There, that's ideal. And the cue that I kind of use to try to get that is, again, when we use like sort of through the spitter, and then I'm not holding up, all I do is I do a jump over, and your slash has to be like really good, or at least like mine. In order to do that, maybe you need a different cue. If you get that, then all I'm doing is I'm holding A and right, and the spitter boosts me. That jump is pretty tight to the one where you're going off of that right wall. Can't get it again. Too far to the left. Act 7, everybody. That jump, the jumping off that pillar platform is tricky. Okay, now if you get the other version, let me get it where I'm up here. Hold on. So the thing that you really don't want to do is that. That's really bad. Can't get the bad version. There. Okay, so now I'm here. You just want to do another over the wall, except you want to do an up B while you're falling. Like that. Otherwise there's no way to deal with this guy. You can't slash him, you can't boost off of him. That's the best way to do it. This room, just wall slash twice, and then jump, and they'll boost you on there. If you don't wall slash, that happens. So you actually have to do like decent wall slashing. See, does one do it? One does it. So your wall slash doesn't have to be that great, but it has to be good enough. And then the ending, you jump like as soon as you land there, and up B kills the bird and the orb, and you get the fire. So I guess a little bit after you land. You need to up fire for the next screen. You can slash that guy if you want. So I don't even remember the old way of doing this part here to get the written info. But that spitter up there is going to cause like a minor hitbox problem, I think. No, it's not the spitter. What is it? I'm trying to think what the problem is, because I figured this out. It has to do with sometimes you can't kill two enemies at the same time. Like, I kill something and my clone kills something. And just because of how this guy is prioritized, my clone sometimes tries to kill something that spawned earlier, and the spitter won't die if I slash him on the way down. Ideally you want to slash him on the way down. I just do a quick AB as like a backup in case I didn't get him on the way down. And there what happened. Wow, I didn't know you could do that. If you get the weird spawn where you spawn him, see, he spawned and then despawned. Well, since I slashed that spitter, it's not gonna work. But normally he wouldn't have a or yeah, that's gonna happen. You're gonna get hit like that. If that happens, let's see if I can get it. I don't know. If it happens, you just wait. I won't go into too much detail. You can play around with it. It's gonna be hard to get that set up. Yeah, this saves like half a second, I think. It's actually quicker to climb the left wall, but it's really tight. You can do that. So normally I just do this. And you want to slash like a little, you can't slash immediately after going off the wall, otherwise you might not hit him. So I slash like right before landing, that's the best way to do it. This, if you jump slash and then slash, you can save a health. That's really tight. Here's Jorf's favorite strat. You can get up on this wall here. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't think it's ever going to be a thing. Let's see if I can ever get it. I don't think so. Jorf can make a tutorial on that one. Nearing the end. Here's my strat. Let me explain it piece by piece, I guess. How's the normal way you do it? Something like this. I think it's that. So it's quite a bit different. So notice what I do here. I jump. Where do I actually jump? I jump like kinda at the edge of this. I don't think I want to jump as late as possible. I don't know, maybe I do. Jump late, land, and then wait like a matter of frames. That's step one. Slash the bird and the health on the way down. Oh yeah, and you slash this bird too. Wait a matter of frames and then you slash. And then you jump when you land. So you can see what happened there is that I didn't wait long enough. So let me show you some of the common mistakes. There I didn't wait long enough. Not waiting long enough kills me there. So you need, that's the problem if you get hit by that bird. You need to wait longer. What happens if you jump early? I'm not sure. Maybe it doesn't even matter. Maybe that happens. Doesn't matter where you jump actually. It just matters where you pause, which is like you want to be in the middle of the platform. And the next step is you jump immediately after you land. And then that gives you invincibility. Let me just pause after that. So now I'm invincible. Normally, you jump like right before the orb. It happened to work with this boost. Normally it won't. See, if I'm too early, that's gonna happen. I just let Ryu go like slightly into the orb, and then I jump. And that seems to work. If you go too late, you're gonna get boosted to the left. Seems like no matter what, I'm getting boosted to the left. And actually you want to slash that. This is actually where the hitbox priority thing is an issue. Notice when I slash, what am I actually killing? I'm killing that first orb with my ninja. Because that hitbox has priority. So I want to clear that hitbox, clear that orb, and then slash to get the ninpo. Usually you won't need it, but it's just a backup. It makes wall climbing way less scary. Last thing I do here is there's a cue that I use. You see how it's like cotton candy almost looking in the background with the things flying off. There are these two little like tendrils that are coming off at the edge here. Like you have like a 45-degree angle. Like right above Ryu's head, there's these two here. I jump right when about Ryu's head hits those, and it makes it so you don't clip the edge. If you go too far over, then you touch the wall there. So jump there, and then you get like a perfect jump. You don't have to pause. Again, it depends, but and if you really need ninpo, you can try to slash this ninpo, but it's pretty tricky. You don't really need 2 health is risky, but it's more than doable, especially if you do this strat. So I already have tutorials for the quick kills, so this is probably the last strat I'll explain, which is the new quick kill. There's a lot going on here. That's what you want to do. There's a lot that can go wrong. So first thing that can go wrong, you go too fast and you get a blank. If you get a blank, let's see. Maybe I should explain it in detail a little bit more. The steps are turn around, 2 moonwalks backwards, let go completely of the controller, the D-pad. You want to stay neutral, and then jump B backwards. That's that. Or I guess I did another slash there. That's that part. And then I try to do another slash in the air to go back fast again. It's kind of irrelevant, I think. Actually, no, it isn't irrelevant. So I go neutral before I finish. Before I finish the slash animation. Because actually, let me show you one thing. This is a mystery to me for the longest time, but I finally figured it out. See, I'm going slow. Now what happens if I moonwalk? Look at how slow I'm going. But I reset my speed and I was going fast. Let's see if I do this. Then I'm going fast. So basically, I don't know why it happens, but right before you hit the ground, whatever your speed was, the last time that you moved, that's how fast you'll go when you moonwalk. So even if I just press back like that, I'm gonna get slow ones. But if I press back forward, I'll get fast ones. So that's the thing that comes into play here. That's why you need to go neutral so often. What I'm doing is I'm going that's how I'm moving backwards. So if I did this, then I'd be slow, and then when I landed, my moonwalks would go slow. So yeah, this is what's happening in the quick kill. It's turn around, moonwalk, moonwalk, go neutral, slash, slash, and then some more moonwalks and kill him. Like that. So I can just explain it here. Usually I get fire, fire. So it will go fire, fire, slash, slash. 1, 2, 3, and then jump slash him. If I get fire and then blank, the only thing you change is the last slash needs to be an up B. So let me just do this a couple times. See there, that happened. Now going neutral after the second moonwalk is like a good thing. You don't want to go too fast actually. So you can use it as kind of like a pause. Because look what happens if I do this too fast. That was bad. You get hit by Jackio, and that's bad. If you get hit there, the quick kill, like, there's no recovery. You just have to cling to the wall and do the kill like normal. It's pretty hard to recover. You can do some recovery if you mess up the ending. Like that. Actually, I was supposed to up B there. But sometimes you end up with like one hit left, and you can just turn around and slash him like that. That will kill him. Like that. So whatever reason that slash cancel sometimes doesn't go, and when it does, you need to turn. You'll get boosted, but you can just turn around and slash him. You'll lose time because of the boost, but it's still faster. This quick kill saves 2.5 seconds overall. Notice that I have 52 ninpo, so this kill actually saves 3.5 seconds. But that's an effective second time loss because my ninpo is lower for Jackio 3. So it's like 2.5 seconds overall. Oh yeah, and the over the walls in 7-1, I didn't really time them. they save. You can get a 215 if you do it perfectly. So I think they save like 2.5 seconds overall. You can actually, this is something I need to experiment. I saw this watching Ohan the other day. You can do 3. That is faster. But I haven't really played with this yet. That's definitely faster by a little bit. Yeah, that's it. I guess I can explain. So in an ideal world, you would do these sorts of slashes on Jackio. It's like a triple slash cancel and another slash in the air. So if you have that triple slash cancel memory, you can just use that. It's like that input is just B before you hit the ground, and then B and then AB. And one of the problems with doing it that way, 2 problems. Shrimp get in your way. The other problem is that sometimes you get in spots where, depending on your height and X position, you're gonna miss some of those slashes. So I think the best way to do it, like if you do Jackio 1, you don't have your up Bs as a luxury. So I still do the kill like normally, like this. But as soon as I have to jump, I'll try to do that slash cancel. It's kind of a funny pattern. See, like that. I messed up, but it would be faster than just slashing normally. Does anyone in chat have questions? I don't even know how many people are here. This is kind of long. I think I covered everything though. Let me just watch this castle crumble. Is Jackio 1 quick kill harder than Ashtar? No, Jackio 1 quick kill is way easier than Ashtar. But the downside with Jackio 1 quick kill is if you mess it up, you're in deep trouble. If you mess up Ashtar, you're gonna kill him like just as fast as the normal strat. Now the 2 clone quick kill for the Act 1 boss, I think that's on Ashtar level difficulty. You still need good execution though, because those strats, I don't know, the ones that I have in my video, probably only like 10 seconds worth of time save overall. Maybe more, but it's close. Is it recommended to get the second clone in 1-1 for harder stuff? No. The only time I would ever recommend that is if you're going for like like sub 10 or world record. That strat is ridiculously hard and it only saves time if you get a good boss kill. Honestly, you're probably not even better off going for it if you are just trying to beat my 1007. It's that tricky, unless you can get good at the boss kill, but the boss kill is absurd. Actually, I'm pretty sure the task strat can be adapted to a one clone kill, just no one has done it. It wouldn't save much time though.